Hey guys, welcome back. So I went to boot camp in September of 2013. So it's been like getting on 7 years or so since I've been to boot camp. So I actually did a bunch of research on Marine Corps boot camp so I could try to jog my memory about what happened there. And yeah, so we're gonna break down that, and I'll tell you some personal stories. And yeah, that's gonna be this video. Bam! So as soon as you get there, you're already fucking tired, right? You fly through the night most of the time, get on a bus, get there at like 2 or 3 in the fucking morning. And so you've been awake all fucking night. You get there, they strip off your clothes. Well, you take off your own clothes, put on camis for the first time, get all your simple stuff issued to you, your camis, your green on green, your go fasters, your running shoes, go fasters, that's what they call them, and a bunch of other stuff, toothpaste, mouthwash, all the basic necessities to live. And then you go to your barracks for the first time. You get there, you don't get to shower, you're doing stuff all day, getting that stuff, taking like entry classes, filling out bank information, other stuff like that, so they can do your direct deposits and get you paid, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so they do that and eventually go to sleep. It's a shitty 48 hours, basically, because you get up early the next day to do other shit. This is way more interesting in my head. After you've been there for a week, and during this whole week, you're not doing anything but getting your rifle issued and going to some early classes about how boot camp works and stuff, and more bank classes, and getting more supplies, setting up your barracks with all the people that you just met and are forced to now live with. Then you get your drill instructors. I had 3 when I started: my senior, my heavy, and my knowledge hat. And then I had a boot hat that came in halfway through or so. After you meet your drill instructors, it's 0 to 100 real quick. Now you're allowed to be IT'd, which is intensive training, where they'll pull you off to the side and fuck with you, make you do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, mountain climbers, jumping jacks, whatever the fuck they want to do for as long as they want, basically. And it's usually in a sand pit that they make you roll around in. Kevlar's heavy. I didn't want to wear it anymore, so I took it off. So in Marine Corps basic training, you can break down battalions like it's first training battalion, first, second, third, and fourth training battalions. Fourth is for females. And then within the battalions, you have all the companies. I was in Delta Company. Within all the companies, you have 2 series. You have Series 1 and Series 2. I think I was Series 2. And then they break it down into platoons. And I was in platoon 1101 in Delta Company. And that was like September of 2013, as I said before. And then they break down your platoons into 4 squads. There's like 70 people in your platoon. So there's like fucking 70 men in one room with just a bunch of beds next to each other for 3 months straight. So bathroom time is fun. So when you're inside your barracks room, your squad bay is what they call it. There's a bathroom, obviously. It's got like 6 shitters, 2 troughs, and a shower room. They called it the shower room, the rain room. Some dumb bullshit. Like, they have fake names for everything. So the 2 troughs were just these 2 giant metal troughs that looked like for fucking watering horses. They're just troughs. And you would piss in them. You'd squeeze as many people in you can to piss all at the same time. There was 6 shitters in a room with no stalls. It was just 6 shitters in a room. And then there was a shower head in the shower room. And then there was the rain room, where there was like 10 or so shower heads around the room and 70 men all showering at the same exact time. So you have 7 naked people standing in a fucking room all trying to shower against 10 shower heads. It's 7 people to a fucking shower head. Math for Marines is a fucking thing too. And so you see a lot of dicks, and Danny would love it because he loves dick. And when you weren't in your squad bay, there's porta shitters all over the fucking place. And the cool thing about porta shitters, or porta potties, whatever the fuck you want to call them, we call them porta shitters. But the problem with porta shitters is they would still try to squeeze as many motherfuckers in there as you can. You want to know how many people you can shove into a porta shitter? Easily 7 people that can still all piss at the same time. There are 2 different fitness tests that you have to complete and finish in boot camp. The first one is the PFT. It's a simple one that everybody knows. It's a physical training test. It's a 3-mile run. You have between 18 and 29 minutes. 18 is the perfect score. And then I think you get all the way to 29 minutes to do it, which is to run 3 miles in 29 minutes isn't fucking hard. You have pull-ups. The max score is 23. The minimum score I think is only 5. Like I'm pretty sure you only have to do 5. When I was in boot camp, I could do 20. But when I was boot camp, I could also run the 3 miles in under 18 minutes. And then crunches. You have to do 100, I think, in 2 minutes. But I think you only need to do 45. But if you didn't get 100, then you had a shitty partner that was counting for you. The other one is way more fun. It's called the CFT, the Combat Fitness Test. And you have to do a series of ammo can lifts, which is where you stand there and you have an ammo can right here. You use the full-sized one, not these halved ones, and you pump them up above your head and you bring it back down. And that's one. The ammo can is filled with sand. This one's filled with nails because I use it for storage. God, I don't remember the numbers. I think it's between 50 and 100 or something like that, maybe. You have the movement to contact, which you do. And of course, the big difference between the CFT and the PFT is you're wearing either all or most of your combat uniform. So for the movement to contact, you're wearing your boots, your cami bottoms, and sweater or your t-shirt, depending on the weather. And you run that and you have a couple minutes to do it. It's 880 yards, a half mile. And then you have the movement under fire. It's a series of like high crawls, low crawls, doing zigzags, buddy drags, throwing a fake grenade into a target, push-ups. It's just got a whole bunch of shit in it. And you wear your boots, your cami pants, and your blouse. So it's a pain in the ass. And then they also have the oak course, which is like the obstacle course. They call it an oak course. It's a series of bars that you have to pull yourself over or climb up or go up backwards and like slide up it. And then there's like a 2-story rope climb at the end of it. But obviously it's not a requirement because we have this kid. Let's call him James. He couldn't get past the first obstacle in the oak course. Never could. Still completed boot camp because they just let anybody fucking in. If you show up, unless you like break your fucking leg or quit, you'll get through it. You'll pass. Like there's no failures. Obviously, we had hikes. Not that they were a huge part. There was 3 or 4 of them. The last one being in the Crucible. I want to say it was fucking 12 miles, the very last one. You're hiking, and each one as it goes up you put more and more weight in your backpack, and you hike for longer. The first one's only like 3 or 4 miles. The second one's like 7, and then you go 10, and then you go 12 or 13 or whatever the fucking last one is. If there's 4. There might have only been 3. There might be 4. I don't fucking know. One of my favorite things to fucking do that we had to do all the time was drill. You know, it's just marching in formation. Like, fucking Marines do. And we had drill competitions and we had other stuff, but just practicing drill was your number one time to get IT'd. Because if you fucked up a movement, they would have you sprinting across the fucking parade deck to the closest sandpit. And they would just go to fucking town. And then you would come back into formation, sweaty and covered in sand and out of breath, and fuck up another one because you're sweaty and tired and out of breath. So it would just repeat the process. It was just over and over again. There's a lot of classes that you have to take, like school, like sit down classes with an instructor and a fucking PowerPoint clicking through fucking, and it blows. It just sucks. And then there's tests that you have to take. The tests aren't fucking hard. They're super easy tests. And you just can pass them pretty fucking easily. Next fun thing is the gas chamber. And it's just like it sounds. It's just a room full of CS gas is what they use. Non-lethal. It makes you think you can't breathe, but you can. It's all a mental fucking thing. It's really hard to overcome. But you go in there with a gas mask on. When you're in there, you have to break the seal of your mask. You put your hands in your mask and touch them against your fingers against the eye line of the inside of the gas mask. And of course that allows all the CS gas to come right in. And you have to stand there while the drill instructors go around and make sure every single person actually broke the seal, because there's 2 or 3 pussies that don't want to fucking do it. So you go ahead and you do all that, and then they let you fucking out. And this shit cures the coronavirus. Anything that ails you, you go inside a gas chamber, About a day later, your whole face, your sinuses, all that shit's drained the fuck out. You feel great. Cures the coronavirus. CS gas. Look it up. Best boot camp, you have to pass swim qual, which isn't that fucking hard, to be honest. And but I do have a funny story about it. So my senior drill instructor would have these little like fireside chats with us. So our senior drill instructor would have us all sit around at the end of the squad bay, and he would like talk to us every once in a while, like pep talks or whatever. He would try to like connect with us. And right before swim qual, he asked everybody standing there, who here doesn't know how to swim? And of course, this is boot camp, so there's people of all races, all ethnicities. We had 3 communists, 4 people that were getting their citizenship, but 3 of them were from communist countries. We had Cuba, Russia, and China. All 3 were trying to get their citizenships by completing boot camp and being a Marine. So, and of course, as the hands start going up, everybody starts looking around. Every single black person in the group raised their fucking hand. And there was one white hand. And it's the fucking Russian kid. And the senior drill instructor looks at him and says, you don't know how to swim? And he looks at the senior drill instructor and says, all the lakes in Russia are frozen. And everybody loses their fucking shit, including the drill instructor, who takes his hat and he puts it over his fucking head because they don't want you to see him laugh. So he takes his hat, put it over his fucking head, laughs, and then obviously we all had to go outside and get IT'd because we laughed. But yeah, so the Russian kid and every single black person in the room. The only gun that you get to shoot in boot camp is the M16A4, which is a great gun, phenomenal weapon. But that's the only thing you get to shoot in boot camp. You have 2 weeks in range, 1 week of class, and 1 week of actual shooting. You have like 3 or 4 test fire days, and then you have actual range day. But that's like the best 2 weeks of boot camp because no one's fucking with you, no one's doing anything, because the drill instructors don't want to be around you when they give these kids that they just tortured for the past, 7 or 8 weeks, live ammunition inside of their guns. So they don't want to get fucking shot. So when we were doing like combat medicine stuff, learning how to apply tourniquets, learning how to stuff gunshot wounds, we have special gauze that we shove inside gun wounds and stuff. They're teaching us how to put on tourniquets. One of the drill instructors walked up to me and said, James, same James from earlier, it's bleeding out of the head. Use the tourniquet to cut it off at the nearest circulation point. So of course, doing what I was told, I put this tourniquet around this kid's fucking neck, and I twisted, and I twisted, and I twisted. Eventually, James passed the fuck out, obviously, and the drill instructor started freaking. He was like, oh my god, take it off, take it off, take it off. Like, he didn't know it was gonna fucking happen to begin with, so I take it fucking off. He slaps James a couple fucking times, and he wakes the fuck up, and he never forgave me for that. But at the same time, I never really liked him, so it's okay. So I have like 2 more stories that I'm gonna tell, and then I'm gonna get out of your fucking hair for the night. But we had this kid. I'm pretty sure his last name was Young. And this kid sucked at everything. Everything he did, he was the last, he was the slowest, he failed all his fucking tests. Like, he sucked at everything. And we had been there, I don't know, 9 or 10 weeks now, so we all knew each other pretty well, and this guy was the idiot of the group. Well, he disappeared one day with one of the drill instructors for like 2.5 or 3 hours. I don't know where he took him. I don't know exactly what they did. But when this kid came back, he was changed. He was always on time. He started putting in more effort during all this other stuff, PT classes, everything. But that kid just changed. He disappeared and came back a different fucking man. This last one is about the Navy's dental program, because the Marine Corps doesn't have medical, so we use the Navy's. And their dental program is questionable at best. So in boot camp, they take out your wisdom teeth if you have them. I got my wisdom teeth taken out by a real doctor when I was a civilian, so I didn't have to worry about it. But this kid that was actually on the bunk right next to me, but on the bottom bunk, he got his wisdom teeth taken out. And Then it didn't stop bleeding. And that night, before he went to bed, he walked up to the drill instructor and said, "Drill instructor, my mouth is still bleeding." Drill instructor said, "It'll be fine. Just go to bed. It won't be doing it when you wake up." Well, this kid's mouth wasn't bleeding a little bit. It was bleeding enough that he swallowed so much blood that he woke up in the middle of the night, walked down the fucking aisle of the squad bay, started vomiting blood, passed out on the floor, and died. They called an ambulance. The ambulance came. They resuscitated him, gave him a bunch of fucking blood, and I didn't even wake up. This was at like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I didn't even wake up. I slept through this kid dying. And when I woke up in the morning, there's just blood everywhere on his pillowcase, on his mattress, on all his stuff. His bed's not made. And we all got in line. I was like, "Where the fuck is this kid?" And they're like, "How did you not wake up? Like, he died." And anyways, so that was that story. But I don't know. I hope this is good for something. But thank you guys for your support. I love doing this. I love being able to express myself like this. So thank you for giving me a platform. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to support me on Patreon, that'd be phenomenal. And Robinhood, link in the description. Yeah, peace out, guys. Thanks.